Now, dear students, today we are going to study remaining part of respiratory system of insects. Now, in a mechanism of gases exchange, that is the second part, the transport along the tracheoles. Now, this transport along the tracheoles, in short, that is a tissue diffusion. Each tracheole ends blindly, and blind end of tracheole is made up of single cell. All these spiracles are filled with fluid at the blind end, and tracheoles fluid is not ultrafiltrate or hemolymph, but it is similar to the amniotic fluid, which having similar composition as those that are found in a molting fluid. It is a watery fluid which contains more proteins without chloride. It is replaced by active transport or absorption, but not by the osmosis. Now, Wigglesworth hypothesis that we found in a transport along the tracheoles. The fluid contained absorbed by wall of tracheoles, and oxygen enters into the system, but removal of the fluid from ending takes place during the activity which deficient oxygen supply. This removal is brought by primarily physical forces, and that will be produced by the product of metabolism, which are not immediately removal of oxidized at the site of activity. As air enters into the tracheal system, the fluid is absorbed into the tissues by the mechanism of active transport. Due to this secretory pressure, the tracheal fluid is never withdrawn from the tracheal system, but it varies degree of withdrawal into the tissues and need for the oxygen. It was suggested that the osmotic pressure which control the level of tracheal fluid and opposing forces which maintain the balance. Wigglesworth proved that the capillary process in tracheoles which operate against the swelling pressure of cytoplasm. The difference in permeability between outer and inner layer of tracheole is very important. It is a factor in absorption mechanism. The permeability of constant of CO2 in tissues is 36 times greater than O2, so that in higher molecular way, CO2 travels more quickly than O2 through these tissues. That brings adequate supply of this oxygen in tissues and also to take the CO2 away. Now then, this is about the flow pathway of air that passes through this total system. This here body wall is there, external openings that will be called as the trachea. Here trachea are present, and then here epithelial cells outer side, inner side intima is there. This is the main trachea, and this is about also which divides into the trachea, small trachea, and trachea smaller chambers, because here epithelium is removed. Here epithelial cells are there, but then it divides into this number of tracheoles, and these tracheoles are innervated to the tissues. This transport concerned with these aquatic respiratory organs. Now, the aquatic insects which possess the closed respiratory system, because these insects they are found in a abdomen. The insects they are found in a aquatic part, that is about the water. It consists of closed respiratory system in which spiracles are closed, and they are modified for intertegumentary structures. The structures are called as the gills. This system which obtain the oxygen from surrounding water. The structures are varied according to their development. And then there are some of these authors, this development that will be takes place in some chambers or the chambers, that is the gills. First, abdominal gills. First gill, that is abdominal. They occur in a lateral segmental integumentary outgrowth, and they are present in the form of this folioid or lamellate form in nymphs, but they are filamentous in Zygoptera as well as cruciform larvae. They are richly supplied with internal tracheae, and they occur primarily first 7 abdominal segments, and they form 7 pairs of lateral abdominal gills. In most of these aquatic forms, there is a Zygoptera, Ephemeroptera, there is a 7 pairs of lateral abdominal gills. But in most of the aquatic forms, Ephemeroptera, Zygoptera, while secondarily they develop in the form of the finger-shaped tubs, that is the various parts of this body of Plecoptera. Their nymph contain this type of this part. And then in Trichopteral cruciform larvae and pupae, gill filaments are arranged in dorsal, lateral and ventral rows of the abdomen. While Compidoid, this larvae, absence of these gills, an integument which carries this particular function. The gills actually free external structures in a hexania, while in some Ephemeropterans or nymphs, they are concealed in the branchial chamber and to form the lateral body wall, which pertain the thoracic and first 7 abdominal segments. The abdominal gills and underdeveloped newly hatched nymphs, which occurs only few species at adult stages. Among this Diptera or in Diptera, the 4 lamellate as well as anal gills, they are developed in a Culicidae larvae, and they are also found in a Neuroptera. This is about the abdominal gills. But then what is about the caudal gills? Most of the Zygoptera nymphs, which bears median gill representing this part, that is the appendix dorsalis, and 2 lateral, and they are found in a cerci region. The caudal gills are filamentous structures, hairy structures. They are modified into the swelling gills or flattened lamellate gills. The gills are internally highly tracheated, and entire internal cavity is filled with tracheolar system. They also provide with nerves, blood channels and alveolar tissues. Then third, rectal gills. In dragonfly nymphs, anterior 2/3 part of this rectum is modified into the barrel-like chamber, and rectal wall epithelium is differentiated into thick and thin regions which alternating with each other, and there are 6 thick epithelium they are found, each with differentiated into basal thick pads, distal gill filaments. There are 6 longitudinal rectal pads are there. Each rectal pad is composed of 2 padlets, and each padlet laterally bears overlapping flattened gills, and the gills are richly supplied with tracheoles, which arise from the efferent branches of longitudinal tracheal trunks. The entering trachea from opposite sides of complex loops. These branchial chambers, they are guarded anteriorly as well as posteriorly by well-developed walls, and they innervated by strong strands of longitudinal muscles. Then gill leaflet may be simple, that is simple type of gills, or papillate structure. They may be double or duplex type of the gills. Then some type that is a flat-like, that is a foliate. Some lamella, that is about is lamellate. Then they are mostly found in some Diptera, that is a simulium larvae. Then number 4, spiracular gills. Spiracles of one or more pairs which bears long filamentous-like processes in aquatic forms of beetle, and that of dipterian families, Tipulidae, Blepharocereae, the Deuteroplebidae. Then number 5, blood gills. The blood gills are tubular or digitiform, reversible structures. They occur in an anal extremity. In their number is of 4 to 6 in the larva of Tychoptera, and 2 pairs they are found in a penultimate segments, and 2 pairs anal end of Chironomus larvae. They are more osmoregulatory than respiratory structures. Number 6, physical gills. The hairs, they absorb or store the air for respiration, which forming the physical gills. They are capable of absorbing oxygen from aqueous media and are found in the hind legs of aquatic bugs. That is a Notonecta and Coryza, and aquatic beetle, that is a Dytiscus. They can store air for considerable long time. In some aquatic larvae or pupae, Diptera and Coleoptera, the spiracles situated on sharply pointed processes which penetrate air containing cavities of submerged parts of aquatic plants. Some aquatic insects breathe oxygen that will be taken from the atmospheric air, and there appear a special device which brings contact between some spiracles with atmospheric air and napha that will bears terminal respiratory tube. Then Hydrophilus, it is modified to hairy antellate. Then Eristalis, which is contain respiratory siphons. In Notonecta, hairs are concentrated around the spiracles. They are hydrophile on one side and hydrofuge on another side. As they touch water surface, a fringe of hairs spread outward by surface tension, and the airspace within put into communication with atmosphere. The hairs becomes hydrofuge or immersion, but hydrophile on withdrawal from water due to the reverse structure in a orientation. Then in Notonecta, there is a fine pile of erect hydrofuge hairs. They hold between layer of air-like velvet and immerse in water. Similar type of water film is also formed on ventral surface of body of Nepal and Coryza. Coleoptera like Himonia and Ilmis, long hydrofuge hairs are distributed in all over the surface of body, which are bent over the tips. They hold thin film of air, and Dytiscus carries large air stored elytra that will be called as a sub-elytra film of air. Number 7, plastron. It is a permanent water film. In this beetle, Himonia, Ilmis or Coxelmis, the air film is so held by hydrofuge hairs. They cannot be replaced by this water. Insects become independent atmospheric air. Ilmis can live for months below the water surface. If it is well aerated, this is very thin, firmly held permanent layer of gas is called as a plastron. In volume, gas is a negligible but interface held in position by some forces, and functionally it is a resemblance to tracheal gills more closely than the air sacs. The plastron well developed in a nocorid bug. Then physiology of gill and plastron respiration. Tracheal gills. In tracheal gills, the burrowing some type of these larvae such as ephemera and hexagenia, they take oxygen through the abdominal gills, and about 45 to 47% of total oxygen uptake is carried by them, and then frequency of gill beating is inversely proportional to the environmental oxygen. This larvae respiratory conformers in absence of the substrate and respiratory regulator with critical level. Then in ephemerid larvae, 7 pairs of abdominal gills composed of this doubled lamella to provide greater surface area because they live in lakes or ponds. The gills beat rhythmically at very low oxygen concentration and intermittently higher concentration. Then the Betis or Rhythrogena larvae living in a floating water. The abdominal gills do not beat and larvae can only tolerate the oxygen concentration, and the larvae are conformers. The gills play a little role in oxygen uptake and they are single lamellate and are less resistant to the low environmental oxygen. In Zygopteran larvae, 3 caudal gills are developed to become lamellate or either simplex or duplex in organization. They are conduct 32 to 60% of total oxygen in a living ponds or lakes, and rest of this oxygen uptake carried by the integument. Means they are effectively respiratory conformers but capable of regulate their metabolism above the oxygen concentration 50% above. In low oxygen containing environment, the larvae spread their gills and wing pads. They move water surface. Then spiracular adaptation in aquatic insects. In some dipterian larvae, peristematic glands discharge oily secretion and provide hydrofuge region around the spiracles, which allows air but prevent entry of water into the spiracles. In Notonecta and some dipterian larvae, the spiracles are encircled by hydrofuge hairs which curve over the spiracles while animal is submerged in water and prevent entry of water, but which spread widely as soon as the animal moves to water surface, because mostly the effect of the surface tension. In some aquatic mosquito larvae, functional spiracles are situated at tip of siphon, example in Culex, and taking up oxygen from air, while other aquatic larvae, there is a beetle, dipterian, the siphon penetrate gas space of plant roots. Then the gas gills, they are temporary or permanent gas gills. Temporary gas gills carry air bubble when insect is submerged and extract oxygen from the surrounding water. The air bubble slowly decline in volume and get reformed by viscid surface. Such type of the gas gills function as temporary air storage and held by some dense body hair under the elytra. They are found in beetles. The air bubble start withdraw of the oxygen into the spiracle in case of submerged insects as soon as the oxygen tension in gills falls below that the surrounding water. The difference in oxygen tension causes oxygen diffuse from water into the gill and continuous oxygen supply. In temporary gas gills, the primary oxygen supply is about 0.2 of the volume of store, and gill can extract 13 times much oxygen from water as that will be available in its store. Then permanent gas gills, that is also called as the plastrons. They are formed either by the hairs or scales in other cuticular structures. They are also called as the permanent air stores. The hair plastron is formed by dense hairs, and aquatic some insects they are very short and long hairs. That is a micro or macro plastrons. and they serve as temporary or permanent gill. The plastron covers lateral and lateroventral body surface, and they communicates with spiracles throughout the lateral groove of this body. Most of the efficient plastron is found in some adult in aquatic beetles. Then the plastron extend much body surface and form a dense network of short hairs. And the plastron in larvae and pupae or some beetles, they occur in a spiracular gills. They form evenly spaced tubercles as well as lines of the cuticular tipulids. Then the plastron also formed within the eggshells of some aquatic insects. Respiration to continue both wet and dry media. And the plastron incompressible and diffusing out of nitrogen from the plastron prevented. The plastron are quite extensive and diffusion constant of oxygen within the plastron is maximum at the spinacle, and the principal diffusion barrier that will be present in a water-air interface between the tracheoles and tissues. The hair plastrons collapse at excess pressure, and the aquatic insects do not need the live water to obtain oxygen, as plastron may work in reverse and extract the oxygen from the tissues. The extremely very low concentration of this oxygen, and when some plastron bears insects exposed to outside the environment, they allow the oxygen to diffuse inward, which helps to prevent water loss, as plastrons are characteristically very rigid. Most of these plastrons in insects live in well oxygenated water, and such beetles are unable to swim. Now this topic is over here. Thank you very much.